Your best choice. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
9년 전 한국에서의 새로운 출발을 위해 부산을 처음 찾은 프랭크. 부산의 자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한대에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very, very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Min-Soo Shin. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
Hello, 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 and happy Friday to you all. This is Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. 네, 불금입니다. 즐거운 불금입니다. Question for you. I'm sure you've seen these signs around everywhere. Black Friday sales, half off, 70%, 80, 90% off. Now, Black Friday sales, these bargain bonanzas, are they really cracked up to be, or is it just all hype? There's a lot of pros and cons to this, but many are saying, with these Black Friday sales, they're not really worth it because in the end, are you really saving money? I don't know about you, but for me, anything I see like with red sales signs and 70 to 80%, 저는 바로 넘어가는데.
이렇게 아쉬워하는 걸 아직 내게 남아있는 많은 날들 그대와 둘이서 나누고 싶어요 내가 사랑한 그 모든 것을 다 잃는다 해도 그대를 포기할 수는 없어 어느 곳에서도 나는 그대 숨결을 느낄 수 있어요 내 삶이 끝나는 날까지 나는 언제나 그대 곁에 있겠어요
And that little epic number was by 신해철 to start off our show. That was 그대에게. I'm sure a lot of our listeners were bobbing their head along, singing along with it. All right, well, welcome to the show, everybody. This is Inside Out Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Happy Friday to you all. 즐거운 불금 금요일이죠. Give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. You made it through another week. 네, 한 주 동안 너무 고생했습니다. Many of you looking forward to the weekend. 근데 오늘부터 많이 추워졌잖아요. Starting today, the weather got really cold. Temperatures dropping left and right, and pretty sure into the weekend, that's what's going to look like. Later on, I'll be filling you in on what the weekend weather is going to look like. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be cold too, okay? But a lot of you these days, probably shopping, 장 보는 거, 뭐 쇼핑하는 거 is on your list of things to do. Probably a lot of people busy planning, checking off what kind of Black Friday sales are happening at some of your favorite stores here and there. What supermarkets are having these, end of the year bargains. Excuse me. Is this the best time to buy that TV, furniture, whatever thing that you've been like trying to get, but at a really good, affordable, discounted price. So many of you have been seeing signs everywhere. 요즘 모두 다 Black Friday sale, 50% off, 60% off, 70, 80%, 90%. 아예 그냥 무료로 드릴게요, right? This is like the type of commercial and advertisement that you've been seeing these days. And as consumers here in Korea, we're really quick to bite on the hook because we think 50%, 60% off, 당연히 사야지, right? But when you look at it, in the end, when you do all the calculations and everything, are we really saving that much? With Black Friday sales, just here right now, a lot of people in that spending mood. But, with the economy not at best and everything, like, are these sales even worth it? Because human psychology, the way humans think, we basically, when we see things in red, especially when they're numbers, right? Signs and everything, our eyes go to it. And when you see, when you see that 30 to 40% off, and then you go, oh, okay, I'm interested. I might want to buy that. But then it gets to like 50, 60% off. Then you tell yourself, I don't care what it is. Like, I have to buy it for that cheap, right? But it comes to many instances where, you get to these Black Friday sales, and because it's so cheap and because they've taken so much percentage off of the items that, like I said, you don't really care what it is. You just end up buying it just because it's so cheap. And then you tell yourself, I'll figure it out later. 나중에 뭐 쓸모가 있겠지, right? And then you just have it kind of in the middle. In like the corner of your room, in your closet, and then it never sees the light of day. This has been the kind of like the trend in consumers these days. Not only here in Korea, but around the world. This happens to a lot of people in the US. They see these signs for Black Friday sales. They buy. They don't know what to do with it. Because they never in the first place had any want or desire for these products. They buy it just because it's so cheap, right? So in the end, are we really saving money? Because think of it, you spend money on things you don't need, even though you get it at a super cheap price. I don't think that's saving money. I think that's wasting money that you never meant to spend in the first place because you never needed said product. So with these Black Friday sales, I'm not trying to, knock on all these businesses. I think it's great, especially if you find something that you want / need and it goes on sale during these Black Friday sales. I think that's awesome. Go for it, right? Like, you've earned it. You've waited this long for it anyway. But then, when it comes to the other types of spending, all the other things that you buy during these Black Friday sales, is it really worth it? Are you really saving money in the end? 다 계산해보면 그렇게 할인을 할인을 받고 돈을 save하는 겁니까? Yeah, it just kind of makes you think. You might want to take your calculator out and actually start punching them in. All right, let me see. I bought this, this, and this. I thought I would save this much, but do I really in the end by buying so much just because it's so cheap? So, question for our listeners today. I want to ask you, have you participated in any of the Black Friday sales that has been going on for the past couple of days now? It's around this time that Black Friday sales starts. And then, probably for like the next coming weeks until the year end, a lot of these sales are going to happen. Have you participated? Have you bought things, off these Black Friday discounts, Black Friday sales? And what did you buy? 너무 궁금해요. 여러분의 소비 패턴을 알고 싶습니다. Tell me, pound 9050, 샵 9050 will cost you 100 won. That's for text messages. You could chat with us on our Kakao Talk, which is free. As well, we are live on YouTube. We already have 가보자고님 and Thursday 1759님 waving and clapping. 안녕하세요, everybody. Welcome to the show. Come join us. It's a party. All right, time for today's News Bites. News Bites with BFM newscaster Annie here in the studio. Hi, Annie.
Hello.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, my favorite day.
Friday, favorite Friday. Well, no, that I'm trying to
Favorite
get
Friday.
all these F's together. Anyways, it is your favorite day, and it happens to be Friday, right?
Yes.
Happy for you. Good for you. Annie, so I'm sure you've seen all these Black Friday sales happening here and there.
Oh man, they've been really teasing me.
Oh, so they've been teasing you. So does that mean you haven't, gone over to the other side?
No, because I know that they're such like they're trying to catch you.
Uh-huh.
I'm a sucker for just going on the websites, putting everything in the cart, just closing it.
Yeah, especially when you see everything in red. How they cross off the original price and they give you the discounted price and everything. That just makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, for me, it's not even the price. It's the percentage that they put.
Uh-huh.
It gets me, and I'm like, I need that.
Exactly.
I'll use it later.
생각도 안 했는데. You
Yeah.
probably never even thought about it, but ooh.
But I'm trying to
right?
be smart, and I'm like, no,
맞아요.
I don't need that.
Oh, see, that's good. 저는 거기까지, I never arrived at that point.
Yeah.
It's always, ooh, 30% off this, right?
But you know
These-
what really gets me though?
What?
When it's they're 11 minutes left or something
Oh,
and I've
that's
already
how they
had
get
everything
you
in cart.
too. See,
So,
these businesses, they're smart.
We'll
they're
see tonight.
smart. What do you mean we'll see tonight? What does
we'll
that mean?
see
You're
if
gonna-
I cave or not.
Oh, okay. There's only these many minutes left,
Yeah.
Annie. Yeah, that's how they get you. Okay, be strong.
I'm trying so
힘내세요.
hard. So
Okay?
hard.
All right, let's get to today's news bites. What do you got for us?
Right. Well, another government online service has experienced issues. This is just 4 days since the National Administration Network was restored, which is causing quite a bit of concern and criticism from the public as well as relevant officials. So this time, the government mobile identification website as well as their application or app went down. At 1:54 this afternoon, the website mobileid.go.kr and the app crashed and went offline. About an hour and a half later, users were only able to access the information page with the app being completely suspended, while the Korea Minting and Security Printing Corporation, who actually runs and manages this service, worked frantically, I guess, to figure out the issue.
So, have they been able to resolve the issue?
I did go on the website. It kind of works. I didn't see the 신청하기 button or anything.
Okay.
But the Korea Minting and Security Printing Corporation stated that they are not able to yet confirm when this issue actually first began. And as they are still working out the problems, they're not able to provide any further details. A mobile ID, for those who don't know, is this very convenient service where an ID can be stored on your smartphone and it can be used as your regular plastic ID card. And it was first introduced in July last year. It started with just driver's license. And for those who wish to use it once it's up and running again, you can visit safedriving.or.kr or visit your local driver's license test site or police station to apply for an IC driver's license, I guess. After it's issued, you just need to register it into the mobile ID app.
Yeah. It's so I tried signing up for it. I mean, not specifically today when it came out, but just because I couldn't. It told me I couldn't do everything through the app. I had to go to like
Yeah,
either
to visit.
driver's license test center or like
Police
the police station to finish it up, and I never got to.
Got lazy.
Yeah, just got too lazy. But yeah, another government site that a lot of people do depend on.
Right.
Going down.
Bit
Especially
worrisome.
on a day like, especially one of the busiest day, it seems like. I don't know what it is about computers
On
and these
Fridays.
sites that want to go down on Friday.
Yeah.
일찍 퇴근합니다, these computers. But yeah, I'm sure more will be brought to light, just what exactly happened. So we'll be updated on that as well. Next, please.
Right. Well, the Busan District Court has sentenced Chung Yu-jung to life in prison for the murder and dismemberment of a woman in her 20s whom Jung met through a tutoring app. We know this case pretty well. She was also ordered to wear a location tracking device for 30 years. And during the final sentencing, the head judge, Kim Tae-up, stated that the way Chung presented herself from the time of the crime all the way up until the trial and sentencing was very arbitrary and strategic, almost as if she had planned it all in advance. And he added that it was very difficult to determine what part of her statements were true, and although she acknowledged all of the charges, overall there were actually no statements that were consistent with the charges.
Yeah, this has opened the eyes of a lot of people as to like the degree of crimes that could happen that we only see, watch on TV shows and movies, just happening in real life. But that's the latest in terms of, the Chung Yu-jung, I guess, now sentencing being final and everything. I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting on this. So yeah, that's that. And hopefully this kind of, makes people kind of be more careful about things like this. It's very tragic, just what has happened, with this perpetrator and the victims. But it just goes to show you, who can we trust?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I hope this is a bit of justice for
Oh yeah,
victims'
of course,
families.
and the bereaved families as well. So yeah, I'm sure for many, like the case closed, book closed, and everything, but also for those affected by it, this is
Right.
going to continue to be an ongoing thing. But thank you so much for that update. What's next?
A little update about this coming winter. So following the implementation of the seasonal fine dust management system, including that's 미세먼지 계절 관리제, vehicles with level 5 gas emissions will be restricted from operating within the capital area, as well as the 6 special and metropolitan cities, that's including Busan. From December 1st, if you do operate the car, you'll get a fine of 100,000 won. And for those who don't know, level 5 gas emission cars include cars pre-1987 for smaller cars, and then pre-2000 for larger vehicles. And for diesel cars, there are cars with pre-July 2002 standards. So if you have an older car, just check.
Yeah.
And lastly, also just analysis and forecasting found that fine dust levels are most likely to be higher than last year, about 9% higher, due to the temperature rise and air stagnation. So get those masks out. We can't put them away just yet.
Yeah, I blame it on the drier weather and of
Definitely.
course plus the dust that that makes this cough not go away. But yes, take that into consideration, of course, and all to the drivers of these older vehicles.
Yes.
Get it checked. We have time for our last bit of news, please.
Yes, a bit of an update with the Israel-Gaza truce situation. The anticipated truce actually between Israel and Hamas has been reported to have come into effect at 7 a.m. local time. That's roughly about 4.5 hours ago on Friday local time. Thankfully, there were no major reports of bombings, artillery strikes, or rocket attacks while this began. And the truce involves a comprehensive ceasefire in the North and South Gaza regions, the release of 13 Israeli women and child hostages by the Hamas militants. That's going to take place later in the day. And also aid being allowed into the Gaza Strip. And in exchange, 39 Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli prisons were to be freed. When that will happen is not actually clear.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces said Friday that it completed operational preparations ahead of this agreed truce, which included destroying a route of underground tunnels as well as a number of tunnel shafts within the Al-Shifa hospital.
Fill us in. What does the aid look like? As that's also something that's very important part of this deal, right?
Right. Hostages and prisoners, very important, but also the humanitarian aid. So around 130,000 liters of diesel fuel, which really is essential in hospitals, as well as 4 trucks of gas will enter Gaza from Egypt daily starting Friday, local time, of course, according to the Egyptian official. Also, the chairman of Egypt's State Information Service said that 200 trucks, which are loaded with food, medicine, and water, will also enter daily for the first time since the war began. And Egypt, again, would continue to receive injured people, facilitate the evacuation of foreign and dual nationalists, and for the first time, they are also allowing Palestinians to cross over if they want.
Okay. It seems like, communication between two sides is continuing and, of course, getting people to safety seems like something that's very important for, for everybody involved. So hopefully just the aid continues to be provided to those that are in need, especially just people, being able to go back and forth with safety ensured. I think that's what's also most important.
Yeah, it just makes me a little nervous that this is a ceasefire, not the end of the war.
Exactly.
So hopefully they can come to an agreement at the end.
Well, that will do it for today's News Bites, Annie. And unfortunately, to fill our listeners in on some sad news, today will be Annie's last time here on Inside Out Busan covering News Bites, right?
That's right. I'm c'est la vie.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Annie will not be with us next week when the new season starts. Any last words for listeners of Inside Out Busan?
Thank you for being so receptive to my news. I hope it was informative, which is my goal always.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun on air. Despite some of the sad news that I did have to report on, I was really glad to be able to inform the public.
Of course.
Especially in English, because these news stories that I brought were mainly in Korean. And so I was hoping I could help those who maybe don't speak Korean.
For sure. I mean, you've continued to provide up-to-date, latest important information for everybody here at BFM and, of course, to our listeners. We have 노루님 on our YouTube saying, 스마트한 애님, 애니님 수고 많으셨습니다.
Oh,
네.
thank you. That brought a tear to my eye.
Yeah. On behalf of everybody here on Inside Busan, Annie, just thank you so much for all your just hard work these past couple of months. The little banters that we would have before your news segment, I enjoyed them very much as well. Very appreciative of all the news that you've been providing for us. 그동안 너무 수고했어요, Annie.
Thank you. Just know I'll be listening.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
listening.
All right, 똑바로 할게요. 정신 차리겠습니다. Annie, thank you so much. Best of
Thank
luck to
you.
you, okay?
Thank you. I'll see you around.
All right. Folks, let's take a quick... Oh, Annie, before you leave, Mr. E saying, 슈퍼우먼 애니님 수고 많으셨습니다. 항상 건강하세요.
건강을 챙기려고 가고 있습니다.
벌써 근데 건강 챙기려고 하면 어떡해요?
네.
그 젊은 나이에. But thank you so much, Mr. E, for your kind words. We're going to take a quick song break. This is Loco, Park Jae-bum, and Gray with Awesome.
You look awesome. And I feel so awesome. 자꾸만 가는 시선 계속해서 짓게 되는 미소 멀리서 봐도 가지런한 치열 내 눈을 비추고 있어 I see the light 투명한 피부 그와는 반대로 꽤나 선명한 입술 내가 보기에는 딱 적당한 키도 나를 웃게 해서 괜히 좋아지는 기분 너 때문에 얻은 영감은 다 이런 식이랐던 노래들과 뻔하게 비슷해지고 있어 절대로 건성이 아닌 이런 느낌 나도 어쩔 수 없어 너도 김새를 하는지 나를 바라보고 있어 너와 눈이 마주치지 난 진지해 벌써 입에 바른 침 묻고 싶어 너도 나와 같은 맘인지 궁금해도 알고 싶은 girl Oh girl 네 목소리 듣고 싶은 girl I'm feeling good awesome And I'm feeling you awesome I'm feeling good awesome I wanna ride with you girl 괜히 맑아 보이는 보이는 하늘 너 말고 멈춰있는 주변의 사물 그 뒤로 느리게 움직이는 사람들처럼 다른 병풍 관심 없어 나는 이미 그쪽 방향을 고정 너를 보면 슬쩍 바꿔보는 표정은 아무렇지 않은 척을 해보지만 붉게 변해버린 얼굴은 못해 거짓말 내가 볼 때 너는 삭막한 이 도시와는 어울리지 않아 찌들어있는 배경과 따로 놀고 있는 하나 솔직하게 쉽게 난 발길이 떨어지지 않아 일단 하고 싶은 말 여기서 멀어지지 마 입술을 깨물게 해 잊고 있던 감정을 너로 메꾸게 돼 안 들리게 너를 자꾸 불러 이상하게 기분 좋은 향기를 풍겨
Oh girl 궁금해 널 알고 싶은 girl Oh girl 네 목소리 듣고 싶은 girl I'm feeling good awesome And I'm feeling you awesome I'm feeling good awesome I wanna ride with you girl oh, oh.
You look awesome and I feel so awesome This is so awesome 홀리는 다른 말은 없어 You look awesome and I feel so awesome This is so awesome 홀리는 다른 말은 없어
아는지 모르겠지만 나는 원래 처음부터 girl 너 좋아했어 네가 웃어줄 때마다 나를 정말 미치게 해 oh, 나의 모든 행복은 다 네 덕이야 좀 유치하지만 girl I like you a lot 365일 널 매일 보고파 Dang girl you awesome Oh girl 궁금해 널 알고 싶은 girl Oh girl 네 목소리 듣고 싶은 girl I'm feeling good awesome And I'm feeling you awesome I'm feeling good awesome I wanna ride with you girl oh, oh. Wanna see you girl Wanna see you girl oh, oh. Wanna see you girl Wanna see you girl oh, girl And I just wanna ride with you oh, girl And I just wanna ride with you girl oh, oh.
And that was Loco, Gray, and Park Jae-bum with Awesome. And I do hope you're having an awesome evening. Welcome to the program, everybody. This is Inside of Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. 즐거운 금요일입니다. You made it through another week. I think that's something you could take to the bank, right? I do hope everybody can have a very restful weekend. But to see what the weather and traffic is like, this is around the time that we do provide updates on listeners of the weather and traffic. But our writer Steve has yet to put the script in my hand. Okay, very much hard at work. See, he knows what he's doing. He prints it out and everything. It's just that the 마무리 of putting it in my hands. It's okay, Steve. We're human. It happens. Don't say anything. I'm not going to give you the mic yet. Okay? I want you to think about what just happened just now. All right. All right, to fill you in on what the weather is going to look like. And folks, I kid with Steve. He knows I'm joking. 6 degrees our city is averaging right now. 춥습니다. 6도 정도면. Tomorrow, get ready for this. -1 degree, 영하 1도까지 떨어집니다. Expecting morning low of -1 degree tomorrow and afternoon highs of 10. So please be cautious tomorrow. Not only like when you're outside, 밖에 나가는 것만 신경 써야 되는 게 아니라요. 이제 많이 추워지니까 여러분 뭐 전기장판이나 what do you call those? Like, the warmers, that use hot water instead of electricity, your electric blankets, heaters and everything, your humidifiers. Everybody's taking everything out to try to stay as warm and just as warm as possible. But this could be a very risky time as heating appliances, like furnaces or boilers, can malfunction, right? So it's great that you're trying to stay warm, but staying safe is also very important, all right? So we all want to wish everybody a very warm and safe weekend. 내일 최저기온 영하 1도까지 떨어지겠습니다. 난방 또는 보일러로 인한 화재가 일어나지 않도록 사용에 유의하시며 따뜻한 주말 보내시기 바랍니다. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on Suyeonglo from Mokgol Junction going towards the KBS 3-way intersection. There's also congestion on Bunyeon Junction from Pyeonglo going towards Bunyeon Interchange. So everybody, drive safe as well. Now I'm going to give the mic as well the camera over to our Friday writer Steve. Steve, 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요.
네, Steve, how are you doing today? Nervous? Sweating? Right?
A bit sweating. 깜짝
Okay.
놀랐어요.
See, you have to come in here always,
With the traffic.
No, not that. Of course, 그거는 당연한 거죠. Right? 그건 당연한 거죠. But I want you always to be on the edge of your seat. Okay?
네.
Always ready for anything that could happen here on Inside Out Busan. Steve, today we're talking about the Black Friday sales that happen.
Yeah.
Take place. Are you having Black Friday sales over at your business?
Of course. 네.
Why?
왜냐하면 I think it's Black Friday. It's a festival for everyone,
네.
그리고 저희도 더 싸게 주면은 또 고객도 기분이 좋고. So that's why we're on the Black Friday sale.
그렇죠.
네.
Okay. But do you think customers are actually like saving money when they shop at business as a business owner yourself? Like in the end, fill us in on the business secret of from a business owner like yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Are they really saving money in the end?
I think they do save at first, but from the holiday, I mean like the Black Friday season, 그때부터 모아놨던 돈을
네.
like they use it all.
그렇죠. I think it's
써버려요.
because there's sales everywhere, and these sales you buy things you don't need, and sometimes you buy them in bulk, whereas in the end you're spending way more than what you would normally spend.
Yeah, once like they see like the discount poster, 그때부터는 정신을 잃어버리죠.
그렇죠.
Yeah.
So folks, let us know if you've been participating in these Black Friday sales. Steve, let's get to today's IOB 5분 상식. Time for today's 5분 상식. 네, 오늘은요. 금융 불확실성 시대의 젊은 층 사이에서 떠오르는 안전자산 Safe Haven Asset 이거 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다. Steve, man, what is that? Is that real gold? You're covered in gold right now.
Minsu, you still don't know the world. The future has become very uncertain now. It's time to invest in safe haven assets.
Wait. Are you telling me you invested all your money from the part-time jobs that you worked so hard with and you spent it all on gold?
Ooh, of course. Gold is the best. I can't understand people who don't buy gold.
Steve, okay, gold is good. Gold is something that's very stable and insured. But actually, a lot of people are saying that it's not that safe. Even though they are considered safe haven assets, they can be stolen at any time. So why don't I introduce you to my secret safe haven asset?
Wait, what? You're saying there's an asset safer than gold? What is it? Tell me.
Steve, 이거 들어봤어요? Have you heard of pet rocks?
Pet rock? What's that? I've never heard of it. It seems really safe because no one knows about it. And it feels like no one will steal it. What is it? Explain.
Steve, 똑똑하네요. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a rock. Rocks, they're never gonna disappear. And nobody wants them, right? You can even draw faces on them. You could advertise it as art and sell it as an asset later.
Ooh, 잠시만. Is this 911? My friend urgently injured his head and we need an ambulance right away.
No, Steve, I'm serious. Trust me. Give pet rocks a try. You could become incredibly rich. 돌이랑 친구 되라고. 완전 사기꾼입니다. 자, 죄송합니다. 자, safe haven asset 안전자산이란 이건 무엇입니까?
네, a safe haven asset refers to 안전자산. In Korean, safe means 안전한 and haven means 피난처 or 안식처. In economic terms, a safe haven asset is an investment that remains stable and retains its value even in uncertain situations such as economic crisis. It is an asset with low price volatility that can serve as a refuge when market conditions are unfavorable.
Okay. So what are then some of best examples of safe haven assets?
In times of financial uncertainty, characterized by high interest rates, inflation, and exchange rate fluctuations, assets are generally threatened by default or market price volatility. Safe haven assets are relatively free from such risk factors. Representative safe haven assets include the US dollar, gold, and US Treasury bonds. And in times of market instability, it is often advisable to increase the proportion of safe haven assets in an investment portfolio. This is why analysis shows that among those who own gold these days, individuals under the age of 30 account for 46%,
Wow.
indicating the growing interest in gold investment among financially savvy young generations.
Steve, how much gold do you have?
Here, 딱 한 개 있어요.
That's it?
네.
그거 나중에 아마 없어질 겁니다. Just to let you know. Okay. 네, 안전자산, safe haven asset, 가격 변동성도 낮아 시장 상황이 좋지 않을 때 피난처 or safe haven 역할을 할 수 있는 자산입니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 저 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래 라디오.
네가 저번 주에 온 신참인 것 같네.
22번 훈련병.
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
All right, time for TGIF Live Studio here at Inside Up Busan. We are joined by songstress Gina. Gina 씨 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
How are you?
Good.
Wait, let me increase the volume of my headphones a little bit so I can hear you very well
Good
today.
and cold.
Good and cold. 오늘 많이 춥죠?
네, 내일 더 춥대요.
네. 이럴 때는 목 관리는 어떻게 합니까?
따뜻한 물 많이 마시고.
물 많이 like do you
Yeah,
make sure to drink a lot
I
of
drink
water?
water a lot actually.
Oh, that's good. See, like me working in radio every day, like that's advice I should be taking upon myself. 근데 저는 사실 물 많이 마시는데 I like water cold. 저 찬물 물이 좀 시원해야지 맛있거든요.
상관없어요.
네, 그렇죠. 그렇게 말하면 안 되죠. All right, Gina, thank you so much for coming in today. So, Gina, our listeners know I'm still sick. Like, they hear me coughing when, like, I have reporters there. 그래서, unfortunately, maybe fortunately, for some of our listeners, I will not be singing again once again. But Gina will be gracing us with 2 songs once again. 여러분, 이거 근데 이렇게 버릇되면 안 돼요. 뭐냐면 I will be singing again soon, okay? But just because I'm sick.
We want to hear you sing.
I know people do. Don't worry, I will. Don't worry, I will. Gina, so let's getting right to it. What's the first song you have for us today?
Talking to the moon. Oh my gosh. You all right?
This is why I'm not singing. Oh, Bruno Mars,
Yeah, the famous
Talking to
Bruno
the Moon.
Mars.
노래 너무 좋죠. Why did you bring this song today?
옛날에 중국 노래 월량 대표 아적심 한번 불렀었잖아요. Like the
네.
love stand for my and the moon stand for my love, something like that.
Yes.
So this is like the similar version in English.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, and I like Bruno Mars.
Oh, okay. Who do you dedicate this song to? Anybody in
Lovebirds
particular?
over there.
또 사랑 노래.
네, 사랑 노래는 뭐 어쩔 수 없어요. 너무
어쩔 수는
많아요.
없어요. 너무
네,
많아서. It's
그러니까.
mostly love songs, right? All right, so we have Gina's rendition of Bruno Mars's Talking to the Moon. Let me give you some of that reverb. 한 이 정도 괜찮죠?
네.
갈게요.
I know you're someone out there, somewhere far away. I want you back. I want you back. My neighbors think I'm crazy, but they don't understand. You're all
talking to me too, or am I a fool who sits alone talking to the moon? Oh, I'm feeling like I'm famous to talk all the time. They say I've gone mad. Yeah, I've gone mad. But they don't know what I know. 'Cause when the sun goes down, someone's talking back. Someone's talking back. Oh, and night when the stars light up my room, I sit by myself, talking to the moon, trying to get to you. In hopes are on the other side, talking to me too, or am I a fool who sits alone, talking to the moon? Do you ever hear me calling? Cause every night I'm talking to the moon, trying to get to you. In hopes are on the other side, talking to me too, or am I a fool who sits alone, talking to the moon? I know you're someone out there, somewhere far away.
Oh. Wow.
That was good.
역시 Burn Up Mars sounds not easy.
쉽진 않죠. 근데 you did it very well.
Oh, thank you. Oh my god.
오늘 달 모양 뭐죠? 왜 계속 그 생각을밖에 안 났지?
달 모양
네.
평소랑 똑같겠죠?
그 모양이 뭐냐? What is the shape of the moon then? All right.
This. I'm like 그 S, you know, MBTI 그 S.
What would you say to the moon if you had the opportunity to?
Have a nice weekend.
달한테 주말 잘 보내세요라고
네,
말하는
주말이니까.
게 그렇죠.
네.
생각도
맨날
못한 멘트
출근하니까.
맞아요. 달도 출근해야죠.
그쵸.
근데
네.
그럼 맨날 밤에 뭐 일하잖아요. 달은.
그니까요.
네, 고생합니다 우리 달. Song number 2, Gina 씨, what's the second song you have for us?
Oh yeah, Soulmate by Natasha
Soulmate.
Bedingfield.
딱 타이틀 들고 또 러브 노래네요.
완전 러브 노래 아닌데
네.
이제 약간 살면서 뭔가 외로우니까 나한테도 soulmate 같은 사람 있었으면 좋겠다라는 노래.
Yeah, and that soulmate, it doesn't always have to be a love. It could be somebody just who's next to you. It could be family or like a best friend or something, right? So dedicated to everybody that maybe have not found their soulmate yet.
Who needs a company or something.
네. Inside Out 부산도 있습니다. Just to let you know, okay? We could be your soulmate.
Sure.
Why is that? 왜 이렇게 너무 영혼 없이? Why is that such a soulless?
I was thinking my songs. So I was
Okay.
like, oh sure.
Okay, all right, got it. Man, without further ado, we're gonna get right into Gina's second song, her version of Natasha Bedingfield's "Soul." Shall we?
Yeah. Incompatible. It don't matter though. 'Cause someone's bound to hear my cry. Speak out if you do.
You're not easy to find. Is it possible, Mr. Lovable? It's already in my life, right in front of me. Or maybe you're in disguise. Who doesn't long for someone to hold? Who knows how to love you without being told? Somebody tell me why I'm on my own. Is there a soulmate for everyone? Oh yeah, yeah. Here we are again. The circles never end. How do I found the perfect fit? There's enough for everyone, but I'm still waiting in line. Who doesn't long for someone to hold? Who knows how to love you without being told? Somebody tell me why I'm on my own. If there was soulmate for everyone. Is there a soulmate for everyone? Most relationships seem so transitory. They're all good, but not the permanent one. Who doesn't long for someone to hold? Who knows how to love you without being told? Somebody tell me why I'm on my own. If there was soulmate for everyone. Who doesn't long for someone to hold? Who knows how to love you without being told? Somebody tell me why I'm on my own. Is there a soulmate for everyone? For everyone.
soulmate.
역시. I don't know why, but this song was very warm to me for some reason. 좀 따뜻한 그런 느낌을 들었는데.
소리 질러서 그런가?
Maybe. 좀 속이 좀 시원하기도 하고요. We have messages coming in. We have Mr. E saying 매주 금요일 기대되는 이유.
아이고.
딱 바로 여기 있습니다. We also have 류상훈 원장님 on our YouTube saying 민수님은 좋겠어요. 바로 라이브로 옆에서 들을 수 있어요. 원장님, 저도 이어폰으로 듣는데 the sound you hear is the sound I hear. 똑같이 듣습니다. 저는. 네, 저 이어폰 이거 빼면 I don't hear anything. Okay, so I hear the same as you. Don't feel like you're being cheated, okay? Gina, thank you so much for coming in today. We'll see you back here next week for the new season, okay? 네, 진아 씨 너무 고생했습니다.
감사합니다.
And that will do it for hour number 1 of Inside Out Busan, folks. To take us out, this is Dua Lipa with Dance the Night. I'll see you back here at 7.
Baby, you can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride? Oh, my outfit's so tight, you can see my heartbeat tonight. I can take the heat, baby, best believe that's the moment I shine. 'Cause every romance shakes and it bends, don't give a damn. When the night's here, I don't do tears, baby, no chance. I could dance, I could dance, I could dance. Watch me dance, dance the night away. My heart could be burning, but you won't see it on my face. Watch me dance, dance the night away.
괜찮아 괜찮아 조금 불편해도 환경을 위해 넌
서울환경공단이 함께합니다.
We are
The firefighter duo.
Winter is so dry. Let's prevent fire by keeping these 3 rules. If you take caution, you can prevent a fire.
The number one cause of fire in winter are electric blankets. Take special caution with highly flammable materials such as memory foam, toppers, and bedding.
Number 2, having too many appliances on the power outlet is dangerous. Always unplug all the appliances that you're not currently using.
Number 3, check the heater is off before leaving the house. Leaving it on for an extended period of time can cause a fire.
Let's all take part in preventing fire and have warm and safe winter this year.
Tune into BEFM 부산영어방송 for an emergency broadcast.
This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. Inside Out Busan.
Welcome back, listeners. This is hour number 2 of Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min Soo-shin. Welcome back to the program. Lovely evening that we're having. I do hope that everybody is staying very warm and very safe tonight. 네, 오늘 많이 춥습니다. 내일부터 더 추워요. 영하 1도까지 떨어진대요. 생각만 해도 I'm staying at home for sure. Okay, so plan accordingly, listeners. It's gonna be really cold outside starting tomorrow. So put on what you gotta put on to stay as warm as possible, or you could be like me. You could just stay indoors. All right, safe and warm. Time for On the Mic. We always kick off hour number 2 with this segment. This is a special segment set aside to fill you in on the stories about the lives of Busan citizens. Let's see who we have for today.
안녕하세요. 저는 부산에서 살고 있고요. 현재는 개인 사업을 하고 있는 박지민이라고 합니다.
와, 개인 사업이라는데 굉장히 미스터리한데 어떤 종류의 일일까요?
직업으로는 영어 선생님이고요. 하지만 제가 그 영어 학원을 운영을 하고 있기 때문에 그냥 소개를 할 때 퍼스널 비즈니스 영어 선생님이라고 했으니까 그래서 개인 사업 운영한다고 말씀드릴 수 있을 것 같아요.
선생님이자 CEO다.
맞습니다.
영어 선생님이신 이 지민쌤은 어렸을 때부터 영어를 좋아하셨나요?
아니요.
다행입니다. 휴.
저는 고등학교 때까지 영어를 싫어했고요. 그런데 이제 아무래도 어렸을 때 왜 학습지 같은 거 정말 많이 시키잖아요, 엄마가.
네.
제가 반강제적으로 하긴 했죠. 하긴 했는데 그게 나름대로 머릿속에는 효과가 있었나 봐요. 제가 대학교를 전공을 영어 관련된 전공을 그냥 집어넣었는데 패스가 됐어요.
네.
운이 좋게끔. 근데 갔는데 다들 저보다 영어를 너무 잘하는 거예요. 그래서 그때부터 영어를 시작했어요. 정식적으로 시작한 거는 거의 20살이나 21살 때부터 자극받아서 내가 영문과를 갔는데 이렇게 영어를 해서는 안 되겠구나 싶어서 그때부터 한 거지 절대 어렸을 때부터 좋아한 건 아니에요. 충격적이죠?
네. 너무 신기하다. 어려서부터 외국어를 접하는 친구들 요새 많잖아요.
네.
그럼 어떻게 보면 쌤도 좀 늦게 시작한 편인데 지금은 아주 수려한 영어를 하고 계시잖아요.
Thank you so much for the compliment. 좀 집중하는 시간을 많이 가졌어요. 한 5년 정도는 최소 5년 정도는 영어에 미쳐 있었던 시기가 있었던 것 같아요.
미쳐 있다라 하면
오직 영어로만 생각하고 집에 있을 때도 영어나 영어 영화나 뭐 드라마나 뭐 하다못해 뭐든 나오는 거 있잖아요. 그런 걸 모두 다 영어로 다 틀어놓고 생각도 영어로 하고 말도 영어로 할 수 있으면 최대한 하고 외국인 교수님한테 되게 많이 말을 걸려고 노력했어요. 그래서 그게 한 5년 정도는 그냥 아예 한국말도 하기 싫고 영어만 하고 싶다. 이 시기가 집중적으로 있었기 때문에 어느 정도 초보 타이틀을 떼게 된 것 같아요. 그때 이후로부터는.
와, 될성부른 나무는 떡잎부터 알아본다 하잖아요. 왠지 지민쌤께선 영어 아니어도 이미 대단한 성과를 내셨을 거라는 생각이 들어요.
Thank you for the compliment again. 근데 이게 계속해서 제가 가르치거나 영어를 하는 거에 재미를 느끼니까 단순히 이제 영어를 그냥 공부한다라는 개념보다는 그냥 내가 서양의 어떤 문화나 사고방식을 받아들이는 것 자체도 영어를 배우는 거에 속하고 이제 제가 그러면서 한국에는 없는 어떤 문화 같은 걸 되게 많이 접하고 그리고 또 삶의 방식이나 생각하는 방식도 영어로 바뀌게 보니까 영어를 배우기 전이랑 영어를 배우고 나서 후에 라이프 스타일이 굉장히 많이 바뀐 것 같아요.
이쯤에서 그럼 지민 선생님의 허비 궁금합니다. 취미, 가장 나를 행복하게 하는 순간들.
단순한 건데요. 운동하는 거요. 되게 흔할 수 있지만 저는 규칙적으로 운동을 되게 오래 해왔고 그거를 함으로써 특히나 저는 이제 머리를 많이 쓰는 직업이 되기 때문에 몸을 움직여준다라는 것 자체만으로도 굉장히 뭔가 스트레스가 풀리고 기분을 좋게 하고 이거는 그냥 완전 취미 이상으로 그냥 인생 평생 갖고 가야 되는 친구 같은 그런 저의 어떤 합의라고 얘기할 수 있을 것 같아요.
나의 산소통 같은.
맞아요.
올 한해가 벌써 얼마 남지 않았잖아요. 올 한해 가장 기억에 남는 순간이 있으신지 궁금합니다.
특별하게 딱 어떤 메모리가 기억에 남는다기보다는 제가 원했던 방향의 라이프 스타일을 매일 유지하는 그냥 매일매일이 올 한해 정말 특별했고 그 다음에 동시에 학생들하고 모임을 가지면서 되게 돈독하게 제 일과 제 자부심과 모든 걸 다 한꺼번에 잡을 수 있었던 그 학생들과 함께 했던 순간 그리고 매일매일 일을 했던 그 소중한 매일 하루하루가 정말 기억이 남는다고 얘기할 수 있을 것 같아요.
하루가 주는 기쁨을 충만하게 오롯이 다 누리셨군요.
그렇게 봐주셔서 감사합니다.
그럼 혹시 지금 딱 떠오른 영어 문장 하나.
Actions speak louder than words.
와우, 나 가자. 네, 그럼 마지막으로 BFM 청취자분들에게 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
Stay healthy and be happy.
Ooh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Thank you so much to our porter, Jisoo, and to today's special guest, Miss Park Jimin Park, who, excuse me, is a CEO of a private English institute. Now, this is a story that, I think could be shared with everybody out there that especially might have kids who still have this kabugam, who just don't want anything to do with English right now. This is something that actually my daughter is kind of like, on this route towards. She mentioned until high school, she considered herself just this ordinary person who actually didn't even dare use the word hate English. As she says, perhaps thanks to a workbook that she happened to read when she was young, she was lucky enough, to go on to university, and I guess that would kind of reminded her, maybe I should give English a try. And she actually majored in English. She mentioned there were a lot of people who were, of course, better than her, good at English. And that's what inspired her to really devote herself to study English super hard, right? And she knows, speaking English and learning English, the language, it's not something that's easy, especially for adults. She mentioned for about 5 years, she completely immersed herself in studying English. And it was during that period that her things mentioned her, like speaking, her reading, even like watching things only in English. This was what really helped her to continue to kind of get over those hardships, those difficulties that she might see in studying another language. Studying a whole nother language that's different from yours isn't the easiest thing to do, but obviously 우리 사장님, 우리 지민 씨, she stuck with it. And now English is more than an interest to her. Not only is it her job, but she considers it her passion. 우리 오늘 My Life, My English segment은 아닙니다. This is on the mic. But she also mentioned how her lifestyle had changed, right? Studying a language is accepting a different culture to her. And I think that's a great way to look at it, right? She also gave us a peek into her own personal life. She mentioned exercising as her hobby because her job right now requires her to use a lot of brain power. She mentioned making sure that she exercises, gets in shape, gets good balance, overall, not only is her brain smart, but her body smart too. Plus, she says it's very fun. And a wrap up of 2023 for her, she mentioned this year, every day was truly special for her. She really tried hard to maintain her daily routine, and this gave her a lot of fulfillment, she says. Meeting a lot of good students, warm friendships that she's made, friendships that she's already had becoming stronger. This is something that, she looks back on 2023 and she finds a lot of fulfillment, satisfaction in it, right? And her last words, just an English sentence or a phrase that came to mind right when Jisoo kind of asked her, off the cuff. And she mentioned, actions speak louder than words. Amen to that, right? All right. Thank you so much to, our reporter Jisoo, and to today's special guest for On the Mic, Miss Park Jimin. That was today's On the Mic. Let's take a quick song break. This is Vibe with 전인권, 가지 말아요. 가지 말아요.
사랑했던 그대가 나를 떠나면 나 이제 어떡하라고 바보처럼 기다리다 다시 안 오면 그때 나 어떡하라고 가지 말아요 떠나지 말아요 가지 말아요 떠나지 말아요 지금껏 사랑했던 그대가 나를 떠나면 나 이제 어떡하라고 바보처럼 눈물 나는 그런 날에 그때 나 어떡하라고 하지 말아요 떠나지 말아요 눈물이 흘러 그대를 불러봐도 아무 대답 없는 그대 이런 나의 마음을 알 수 있을까 제발 가지 말아요 제발 가지 말아요
That was Vibe and 전인권 with 가지 말아요. Folks, don't go anywhere, all right? Welcome back to the program. This is hour number 2 of Inside Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Sorry, let me get my face back up there on our YouTube. There we go. Hello, everybody. I do hope you're having a lovely evening. The time is now 7:14 here in the studio. Let me give you a quick update on how cold it is outside. 밖에 많이 춥습니다. Right now, 5 degrees. That's going to continue to go down in the night. We're going to see a low of -1 degree tomorrow. 여러분, 영하 1도까지 떨어지겠습니다. 내일. So please be cautious. Not only, if you're going to be outside, make sure to have the right apparel on, but also when you're indoors, okay? I know a lot of you are going to start busting out your electric blankets, your heaters, your furnaces, boilers on, I don't want to say full blast. 그 정도는 아직 아닌 거예요. But still, you have to be extra cautious around this time. Things being plugged in, the gas running in, everything. A lot of risk, especially when there's a dry weather warning alert to go with the cold wave. So I want to wish everybody a very warm but also a very safe weekend. 네, 내일 최저 기온 영하 1도까지 떨어지겠고요. 난방 또는 보일러로 인한 화재가 일어나지 않도록 사용에 유의하시며 따뜻하고 안전한 주말 보내시기 바랍니다. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion over on 낙동북로 from 강서구청 going towards 구포 Bridge Junction. There's also congestion on 수영 강변대로 from Senta Middle School going towards 과정 Bridge. And then we have slow-moving traffic on 구동로 from the former City Hall Junction going towards 남포 Junction. Everybody, be safe and drive safe, okay? So today we are talking about Black Friday sales. Have you gone to, I don't know, your nearest supermarket or favorite store? I'm sure they have some kind of like Black Friday sale going on, right? This is a custom that I think started in the US and of course, not only Korea, but I'm sure a lot of other countries just saw the economic effect on the consumers that Black Friday sales have, and they decided to take it on. It's huge here in Korea, right? But the reason why I bring up Black Friday sales today is because it's become a bit of an issue, a concern, especially to the consumers here in Korea, because there's been a good amount of consumer complaints that the prices before the discount are actually not much different or sometimes even more expensive. Excuse me. Like I said, you're seeing all those numbers, 30, 40, 50, up to 80% off, right? But in the end, are you saving money or are you spending more than, are you spending money that you never even thought of spending in the first place just because of these Black Friday sales? So yesterday, there was a post online that had this title about Black Friday sales saying, "Isn't this deceiving consumers?" So the post, this included photos of products being currently sold on a domestic online fashion platform. And this platform was conducting this Black Friday event. And they were advertising discounts of up to 80%. But looking at the price of the clothes that were not even 30,000 won usually went over 50,000 won so basically they added on to the price saying it was like a Black Friday sale. Okay? And even after the discounts, sometimes consumers were paying more than the cheapest price they would have paid during a or during a non-sale event, right? Even close to 40,000 won, they're saying the prices were. That's supposedly part of the discount. When you could have bought it, maybe even on a non-sale kind of price at just 30,000 won, okay? So I don't know. If this is true, then it is deceiving the consumers and the customers out there. So it makes it look like a major discount, but in reality, there's some of these businesses that are trying to, I don't want to blame business of tricking customers, but sometimes they might try to push for a product at this price where they know customers, because they're going to spend more, because they're more willing to buy now, why not have it at a price that maybe, is a bit more than what they would usually buy? And then just kind of put a tag of 80% off. Then that means they up the price, by like more than double, more than triple just to get that 80% off. But in the end, you pay more anyways, right? So a lot of netizens are pointing out that it's not just with fashion platforms. This is something that's happening at for various other items at various other businesses as well. So yeah, this is a call to all of our, consumers out there, just our listeners. I'm not saying, every store, is trying to trick you. No, there's a lot of, business out there that really stick true to those discounted prices that they have. They want to have their consumers safe, right? But then I think it's more of an eye-opener for all of us just to be more smart consumers, I think. Yeah, before you just go all willy-nilly with your credit card, just because it's on sale, just because there's this many minutes left, doesn't mean that you have to buy it, listeners. I know, though, that 80%, up to 80% off seems very enticing. Like I said, I'm not the smartest consumer. I might even jump on something that's 80% off that I never thought of in the first place that I needed. So during this time, as a lot of these Black Friday sales and events are popping up here and there, so let's just be smart consumers about it, right? 조금 계산할 필요도 있을 것 같습니다, right? You probably want to, bust out the calculator app on your phone that you never used in the first place and start punching in the numbers and see if you actually do save in the end. So a PSA, let's all be smart consumers during this Black Friday sale period this season, okay? All right, 7:21 here in the studio. It's Friday, second hour of our show. That means it is time for the longest running segment, not only here at Inside Out Busan, but all of BFM. Let's get to today's Open Studio. And I really do mean it. It's not a lie, okay? We've had this open studio segment here on Inside Out Busan, as well. It's been part of other programs before. But this has been around since like the beginning of BFM, where we get to invite people from all walks of life here in Busan to tell us their story. So today, another special guest. Now, she actually initially thought she'd only be in Busan for about a year, but then ended up falling head over heels in love with our city, and now she is on to her second year of living in our city. Please welcome today's special guest, Miss Alyssa Cockrell. Welcome to the program.
Hello. Nice
Hi.
To see you.
Why don't you directly introduce yourself to our listeners, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Alyssa, and it's wonderful to meet you all through radio.
It's wonderful to have you through radio. All right, Alyssa, thank you so much for coming in. And Alyssa, by the way, we were talking off air a little bit. It's lovely to have another person who is from California.
A fellow Californian.
Yes, right. She's from SoCal, by the way, right? Riverside area.
Mm-hmm.
Me being from the Bay Area. Usually, like people from SoCal and NorCal, there's no beef, but there is that divide there.
Yeah.
But meeting another Californian, outside of the U.S., it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're from Sacramento, even Bay Area, Sacramento is included, but we only include them because they're the capital and they're around, right? Very happy to meet another Californian here. So tell us, Alyssa, a little bit about your story. How did you end up coming to Korea? How did you end up specifically coming to Busan?
Yeah, that's a great question. I get this question a lot. I feel like there's a lot of stories behind people's journeys coming to Korea. They've always been interested, but I actually kind of came here on a whim.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Were you doing one of those spin the globe and wherever my finger lands, I'm going?
And blind. Wow, that would be a really hard catch. Korea's a little small, but it was almost on that level. I was kind of just in a rut at home. I had quit my job. I was substitute teaching, and I was looking for something new, a new change, kind of to travel. I'd never lived outside of California, so I was like, what are the opportunities abroad? And I came across South Korea, and look at me now.
Destiny was just meant to be,
Truly.
Right? Did you know anything about South Korea before that?
I had heard of K-pop, but
that's like a lot of people's gateway thing into just Korean culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it couldn't have been the easiest choice though to kind of just just up and go.
No,
You know what I mean?
I cried hard in the airport. I'm gonna be real with you. I made the choice. I was solid on it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this adventure, and then it all hit once I went to LAX, and it was like too much. But yeah, I got here, and actually, I'm really glad I made the decision.
Yeah. So, I mean, was Busan your first choice? Like, was this the first place you arrived, or like, where did you go right when you got here?
I came to Busan first.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So obviously everyone is kind of interested in Seoul because it's the capital, biggest city, tons of foreigners, lots of English. I was interested, but I was very drawn to the beach town, being in Busan, being from California. I had easy access to the beach my whole life. I was like, it's just across the water.
Same,
it's like I'm home.
Exactly. And I think because it was destiny for like me and my family because I was born here. This is my hometown here in Korea. And then we ended up moving to California. That transition was just super easy for our family, right? And also just always being around water, always being around the ocean. This is something that these days, like, I felt like before I took for granted. I'm so thankful now that just having the beach, access to the beach and access to the ocean is something that not a lot of people have.
No.
Actually,
Yeah.
right?
A lot of people come here not expecting, surprised, or moving towards being near the ocean. They're like, I've always lived in a landlocked place.
Yeah.
And they come here excited. And yes, of course I was excited, but I was like, I needed the home feel. I'm familiar.
Exactly, right? So you made your way here to Busan. How was it the first couple of months for you?
Oh, those first couple of months were hard. I'll be real. I don't know a lot of Korean. I know enough to get by, of course, now. But at the time, didn't know a lot. Had never lived outside of my country, of course, let alone my state. And Korea is quite different from America, I would say. So it was definitely a culture shock for when I first got here.
What was the hardest thing about just living here in Korea?
I think it's like the simple things. Like, you don't think about going to the grocery store and needing to find something and asking for help.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe going to the bank and needing like help with your account.
Yeah.
Those small things I didn't realize would make a big difference in coming. Yeah.
It's then, when you come to realize, like, living by yourself in a whole nother country, just how good we had it back home.
Yeah.
Me, I mean, I grew, although I was born here, moved to California when I was very young, right? Before that, we were living in other places, but spending a lot of like years in California, you just come to everything. It just is so like. Of course, that's the way of life over there.
Yeah.
I mean, language is a huge thing too, right? Because we live using English the whole time, and now you come here, and then some things like you would never do, like ask for like help, like because like for me, I'm sure maybe I don't know if this is for you, like shopping in the U.S. I usually don't ask people what's around.
You don't ask for help.
Yeah, I just kind of go around, see where things are, and I do want to get accustomed to like the store, especially if it's a place that I'm going to be visiting more than once. But yeah, now you come here, now you gotta like actually ask for help,
Exactly.
But then I'm sure like the Busan, the warmth and the chung that people have here, like I'm sure there are people willing to take you by the hand and help you out as much as possible, right? Were you experiencing that?
Honestly, yeah, that's actually what made me realize how good of a place that I chose. I think it was a situation, I was having a hard day and I tried to get on the bus and I had no money on my card.
Oh no.
And I was getting on the bus and I had like armful of groceries and I'm like walking off. I'm like, oh well, forget it. I just walk off. I'm like, I'll find a way to get there. Bus driver's like, get on. Like, just get on. I was like, sir, thank you. Like, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
It's literally little moments like that really got me through the beginning months, because I was like, okay, it doesn't matter where you move, you can go and find really good people no matter where you go. And I've been so happy and grateful to get that here.
That's the prime example of what they call chung here in Korea. This is something that I'm not saying other countries don't have it, but it's like just you being in Busan, no matter where you're from, what walk of life you've had, even though it's a complete stranger and they don't know you, still they're willing to help you just because you're here in Busan.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you got to experience that firsthand. Right. So our writer has filled me in that you actually initially was only planned to stay for a year here in Busan, right? then what led you? So obviously that year
Has come and gone.
right?
Yeah.
Now you're into your second year. What made you want to stay?
I was really struggling at first being here with the work culture. It is different from home. Pretty intensive in comparison, especially in teaching. At home, you kind of have like, 7 to 2, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Here, it's a bit longer. You work like a typical 9 to 6, etc. Like everybody
40 hours
works
a
that
week.
job. Yeah, everyone does that. So I had originally left, taken a break after my contract was up, and then my current school reached out to me and said that they would like to have me back and on a part-time basis, and I was like, I'm there. That sounds like the life I want to live here. So I decided to come back and easily took it back.
So it was an easy decision for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably sad news for family back home who were expecting you back.
That precisely, letting them down on that was a little hard, but they got over it.
But I'm sure they're happy that you're happy. Here,
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
So let's talk a little bit about the job that you have here. You're currently teaching English at a kindergarten.
I am.
Now, you probably could have, I'm sure you've had options to teach, anywhere from elementary, middle, high school, even college students. What made you specifically choose kindergarten?
There's something about the littles that is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
They're so sweet and innocent, and they just love you. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
They are obviously at the beginning of their journey of learning English, and it feels very fulfilling to kind of give them their first taste of English and also hopefully make it a positive, fun experience for them. And just their hugs sometimes get me through those hard days. So I really love them. They're so cute.
Yeah. So I know exactly what you mean, but it's different from because I have a 7-year-old daughter who's probably around that same age that you're teaching. But it's probably different from the warmth, like you mentioned, the hugs that you get from your students. I'm not saying my daughter is not genuine when she gives me a hug, but she's like, you're my dad. Of course I have to give you a hug.
Exactly. Yeah.
But being super appreciative of having that fun class that you had with your kids, and then at the end of it, them coming up to just hug you just because they've had so much fun with you, and they don't want to go, or I'll miss you, but I'll see you again, later, or probably tomorrow, maybe
Literally.
even sometimes, right? That's they'll get you. That's how they hook you in.
Definitely. I mean, from the beginning of the year, they don't know me, and then middle to end, they're like, I like Alyssa, teacher.
Aww.
And I'm like, I like you too. Thank you.
Yeah, that's something that you can only get at that age, you know what I mean? Once you get to elementary school,
the innocence is lost.
I mean, they're still cute, but they're scary at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to talk about middle and high school students here. Nice. Now, Alyssa, there might be actually a lot of our listeners who are parents, very interested, sometimes concerned when it comes to their children's English education, right? So as you are a experienced teacher teaching at a kindergarten where, like you said, that's the first foray into the English language for a lot of your students, a lot of these kids. Maybe do you have any tips for parents out there, maybe other teachers who are, want to help their kid, want to help their students? Yeah. Maybe do the best they can when it comes to learning the language. Yeah.
I would say probably the biggest advice I could give is just make every kid feel like an individual. You're teaching a class of them, at least for the teachers. And yes, you have to teach the class the same, but different kids need individual attention, and different kids have different needs. And I think that goes towards parents as well. They may have maybe Korean homework or other homework to work on, but making sure that you give them that devoted time where you're engaged, they're engaged, and you're working on it together so they don't feel like they're alone in the process of learning English. And
it's because I totally agree with you. A lot of sometimes the culture has changed a lot where now parents are very much involved with their children's education. But here in Korea, the usual thing was, parents would just pay for the fees and just send them off to hagwon, and they entrust everything at these academies, at these after-school classes. But times have changed. Society has evolved, especially when it comes to not only English, but I feel all the other subjects.
Yeah.
Parents' participation is so much more needed,
It is,
right?
yeah. You
Yeah.
can definitely tell the students who are really like progressing or at least excited to continue, even if they're struggling a little bit, because if they have that parent support, having like the backup. They don't have to be good at English yet. It's just having that support if they to go to.
That's a really great message that hopefully like all parents and all teachers can take to heart. Nobody's going to be super good right off the bat.
Exactly.
Right? I know, especially like young kids, they absorb information like way better than like older kids or even adults. But still, it has to be fun for them first and foremost, and you have to give them time.
Definitely.
I think all kids, their learning curve and everything, they're all different. I'm sure you as a teacher come to realize that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. In one class, it can be very wide the difference in exposure, at least from when they first start.
Yeah. So parents, teachers out there, take Alyssa, Miss Cockrell's words to heart. All right. So Alyssa, let's talk about just other than your work, like. What have you been enjoying here in our city? Like any hobbies or passions that you have?
Yes, I'm actually a yogi, so I'm really into yoga. That's like most of my life besides teaching.
Did you get into yoga were you doing yoga before you came to Korea, or did you get really into it here?
Inconsistently, I was doing it at home. And then I came to Korea. I found a teacher that I really enjoyed that I could go to. And then I actually went to Thailand in my time between contracts and got a teacher certification. So I can now teach yoga. And I do teach yoga every Sunday.
Nice. Good stuff. How was that experience? How long did it take over in Thailand?
Thailand, it was 2 weeks for the training, but I spent a total of 6 weeks there. Yeah. It was amazing.
That
beautiful.
must have been nice. Right. And I mean, that's something that I'm sure you could get also here in Korea.
Definitely.
What made you decide go all the way to Thailand to do it?
My yoga teacher used to live here, but she no longer lives here. She moved to Thailand, and she now teaches courses for other yoga teachers, other people to become yoga teachers. So I was like, I like your classes. I'm going to you and let her train me.
That's a dedicated student right there.
I'm committed, loyal.
No matter where the teacher goes, what a country the teacher goes, I'll follow. Nice. But I'm sure you got quality training over there.
Definitely.
Now you're here. Now you want to kind of spread that, right?
Absolutely.
So you're teaching it every weekend?
I do, yes.
Good stuff.
Feeling good.
But then, that's you also like, as much as you enjoy it, you're still a teacher.
Yeah.
Right? And like, what does Alyssa enjoy, like for herself?
I like reading. I like listening to music. I feel like I'm good at talking to others. I think that's the teacher part of me, but I'm also quite introverted when it comes to just spending time by myself.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I like to like reset by myself. Yeah.
Living here in Korea, I'm sure you've come across people like asking you, like, do you know what your MBTI is and everything,
Yes,
right?
and that's such.
Yeah. I get asked that every time, and I've come to realize, like, the answer that people want, I'm an E.
Yeah.
Only when I'm working or like to make money, right? Same as you. As a teacher, you have to be like extrovert. You have to be like super energetic and all the time. Same with me doing the radio, because at home, I'm like one of the quietest people.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying like I don't talk to my wife and I don't talk to my daughter. No, I spend quality time with them. But like you, I like that alone time. You know what I mean?
It's so nice.
Yeah. Any good books or any good, music that you've come across these days?
I don't have any names right now. So you put me on the spot there. I typically like fiction though. I'm definitely an escapist in the reading that I do. So I like to jump into other worlds in order to take some time away. Yeah.
Same here. Reality is too real for me sometimes.
Right?
That's why,
Can you put a filter on it?
Exactly. Nice. Well, Alyssa, as we slowly start to wrap up our interview with you, I would love to have you on longer, but we do have a schedule that we have to set too.
Oh, dang.
Any special experiences like that you've had here in our city that you can't get anywhere else?
Yeah.
Like any moments like that for you?
I spend a lot of time when I do go out in Gwangali, and honestly, every Saturday they have the drone show, like multiple showings. And
that's something that we drive home to our listeners and to like visitors here in Busan, here at BFM.
It's so amazing.
It is.
I've never seen anything like it, honestly. So I'm truly impressed by that. And then also you can like stay out till sunrise with your friends and see the sunrise over the bridge. I feel like that's like a memorable experience to have here.
I mean, being from California, I'm sure that's something like stuff being open just until super late.
Baffling.
Yeah, that's something that I really liked, but at the same time, like, don't these people go to sleep?
I know, yeah.
Because, you know, if you, like, California, whether it be SoCal or NorCal, things close, like, nothing's open past 8.
Yeah, it'll shut down.
Yeah.
Even if you're going up a late night, if people are into that, right? It's like 1:30 is done, like night over.
Yeah.
So going 3, 4 a.m. and people are still going, I'm like, okay,
that's probably something you had to get used to.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Living here.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you're having a blast here, Alyssa, and I'm glad that you've extended your stay.
Me too.
Do you think, I don't know, like you're into year 2, do you think there might be a year 3?
I tell myself, well, I say every year, but it was last year. I was like, last year I'm done. I'm like, oh, this year I'm done. But who knows? Watch, you'll catch me out here next year. So
I mean, they know how to keep you here.
Grip me, man.
Yeah. Well, I do hope you mentioned that you were going to visit home soon, though,
yes.
right? But visit, which means you will end up coming back.
Absolutely.
And then finishing out your second year here. Who knows, right? For how long that's going to go.
We'll see. I better learn Korean.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know enough to get by. You mentioned, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I figured because me coming back to Korea after spending living in California, it took a while.
Okay.
It took a while.
Yeah.
But now that you're just surrounded by Korean, you pick it up a little easier.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would say that's a benefit.
Yeah. So just be open, right, to the language. You're doing very good. You're doing very well. Alyssa, thank you so much. Our special guest for today's Open Studio, Miss Alyssa Cockrell. I had a blast speaking with you.
Me as well. Thank you so much
Best
for
of
having
luck
me.
to you and everything, okay?
Thank you, too.
Hope to continue to see you around here in Busan. And Alyssa, with you here, I don't know, I haven't played just California hip hop in so long.
Please.
Just you being here and me just being a hip hop head too. I was inspired. I don't know if you know a little artist by the name of Kendrick Lamar.
I'm familiar, yes.
Yes. This is Kendrick Lamar and Mary J. Blige with Now or Never, folks. Enjoy. We'll be back.
We on? All right. 1, 2, 3, go!
Waking up in a dream, sleepwalking on another big stage. You never heard peace till you hear people scream your name in unison. I'm so far away from the place I used to be, struggling usually. Look at the new me, fate pursuing me. I can feel the energy in the air. It feel like I'm supposed to be here.
Everywhere I go, I'm getting so much love from fans to stars. Everyone saying how they can't wait for the OP. And I'm gonna blow, they believe in me. Feel so good in what you do. Help somebody else get through. That's why I do the best I can, because I know how blessed I am. I'm so high, I can touch the sky. I know it's my time, and it's now or never. Shine so bright, I light the night, and it feels so right. Ain't nothing better.
A fool if I take it all for granted. A smart man if I keep my feet planted to the earth. Cause the people that hurt can understand it. You speaking outlandish, I'ma show you how to make it all work. Another planet, it's a short-term goal for me. A record soul for me, it's just more of me and you're here. For you to hear Kendrick persevere. Defenses, I feel relentless. Ambition with a clear vision. Taking off, I ain't taking off these pistons. I'm taking off on the enemy, your distance. Came across me, how much it'll cost me to get you out my business. I said a planet, it's a short-term goal. No sky is the limit, I'm past that, now past that. Award not 1 but 4 times 2 plus yours.
I see myself performing that. Sold out shows where the room is packed. Sitting at the Grammys winning 5 awards. See myself on big billboards. Traveling around the world with endorsement deals. Can't imagine how it feels. That's why I'm smiling every day, because my dream ain't far away. I'm so high, I can touch the sky. I know it's my time.
looking at me and you tell me I'm blessed. Calculated my steps, my heart, my breath. Breathe lungs of a victory and vividly you see me when I'm at my best, my worst. This verse dedicated to the days that I slept with a curse. Research my paid dues, I'm reimbursed. I burst in the crowd with a voice and a crown. I'm a king on the prowl and I see mama smile. And a vow I'ma take that I'll never break. You can break bread with me now. We can all take a bow on the edge of the pedestal and scream out loud that we made it off the avenue and walk that mile. In the darkness I often sit back and get lost in the rap that I wrote. When you told me that it spoke to your soul, I was talking to you. I was walking it through every ghetto. Tell success, hello, we here.
And I'm so happy I cry, 'cause I can't believe all the things I ever wanted are finally happening for me. And it's so surreal that I almost feel that any minute I could wake up from this fantasy. When you pray so hard and you've come so far, and you know that it's the time for you to leave your mark. And I'm gonna do it. Watch me. I'm so high I can touch the sky. I know it's my time, and it's now or never. Shine so bright, I light the night, and it feels so right. Ain't nothing better. I'm so high I can touch the sky. I know it's my time, and it's now or never. Shine so bright, I light the night, and it feels so right. Ain't nothing better.
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 Writer Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in 거제동 and 연산동, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
All right, listeners, it is time for the final segment of the day, quote unquote. Now it's Friday, so that means we have our Friday edition writer, Steve, with us. He's going to be leading this segment. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Minsu.
How are you doing today?
Very, very good.
Good. Good to hear. I'm glad you're doing good, Steve.
Thank you.
저는 힘들어요.
사실 저도 힘들어요.
아니에요. Steve, thank you so much for coming in. Quote unquote, you'll be leading today. What do you have?
Yes, today I've got a quote from the book named The World is Wide and There's Much to Do. It's a Korean book.
Oh, okay.
한국어로 세계는 넓고 할 일은 많다.
그렇죠.
By 김우중. For those who don't know Kim Woo-jung, like he was the chairman of 대땡.
Yeah.
That
대땡.
네.
Yes.
Which was a massive conglomerate in the past, although it has now been dismantled. 네, 아쉽게도. So the quote of the day is, if it's absolutely necessary, don't hesitate to spend a large sum of money. However, if it's not essential, hesitate to spend even a penny. 네.
Ooh. I like that.
I like it too.
If it's absolutely necessary, don't hesitate to spend a large sum of money. However, if it's not essential, hesitate to spend even a penny. 오늘 우리 블랙 프라이데이 세일 대해서 말하잖아요. 혹시 그것 때문에 혹시 이 코트를 갖고 왔습니까?
당연하죠.
역시 우리 스티브. 네.
So recently, the benchmark interest rate of the U.S. central bank has continued to rise without stopping,
네.
causing the benchmark
interest rate.
네, 기준금리라고 하죠. Interest rate of the Korean central bank to also rise.
Usually that happens.
네, 따라가죠.
네.
Placing the economy in an uncertain situation. As this situation continues, more and more people are becoming interested in money. You've probably heard the saying that money isn't everything in life. However, an undeniable fact is that money does solve a considerable portion of life's problems.
맞아요.
네, the point is not to ignore the fact that money isn't everything.
Yeah, I mean, we need money to live.
We sure need.
Right?
Yeah, 맞아요.
It's let's be real about it. You need money to be able to buy food, pay your rent, right? Buy clothes so that you can keep warm.
And 아프면 you have to go to the hospital.
Go to the hospital and everything, right? So the reality is that we need money.
There's a lot.
But needing money and then like wanting money, I think that's like the difference. If you see money as a means to get things that you want and need, then like I don't know if money is like your number one. But people, they get so like obsessed and like addicted to making so much money. They're not even thinking about how to spend it afterwards. Then I see it as a problem. You know
like
what I mean?
when they're 100% like the only goal is making money.
If
that would
the
be
only
the
goal
problem,
is making
right?
money, if
I
you
know
don't
what
have
mean.
like, well, I mean, what are your plans with that money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
맞아요.
네.
You know, like money 그냥 수단일 뿐이에요. 네, 그게 최종 목표가 되면 안 돼요.
But the reality is we can't ignore it.
Yeah. So just like this, depending on how wisely one manages money, it can either become a poison or a remedy to oneself. Have you, in your spending of money so far, thought that you've been wise in handling it? What about you, Minsu? Do you think you've been wise in spending money so far?
No. I told you, I'm not a smart consumer. I mean, I'm not the smartest consumer. Excuse me. I mean, if I really want, like if I need something, usually I'll just buy without like thinking it. But it's just like these wants that get to me sometimes. 거기서 못 참을 때가 더 많은 것 같아요.
Yeah. Same. 저도 똑같아요. Like 저의 24년 인생 중에서 like 22 years 그냥 막 썼어요. Just everything. Like if I want to buy that, I don't really, you know, think much about it. I don't hesitate and just buy it. But now, as the phrase, you know, like the quote for today, if it's really necessary for me, I don't really think about it and I just buy it. But if it's unnecessary, I would take time, you know, like at least like 3 days, 길면은 a week, and then I buy it. But mostly I don't buy it.
I think that's a really smart thing to do. Like give yourself some time to actually think about if you need it. That's what my parents did before.
Yeah.
If I really wanted something, I would tell them, and they would always tell me, okay, let's wait a week. And if you really want it after a week, and if you really thought about it, then we'll like get it for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the emotion, you know.
근데 I think my parents were smart because after a week, 그 흥미가 없어져요.
맞아요.
And I move on to this next thing.
맞아요.
So more often than not, I end up not
Exactly.
buying that thing because
맞아요.
I'm not interested anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, in my personal opinion, a person's spending habits speak volumes about that person, much like their language habits. I hope that all of us can spend money wisely and become wealthy together.
맞아요.
네.
So today, as we talked about Black Friday sales, and are they really sales? Like, are you really saving money? Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, if the company is like not a good company, they'll like try to trick you. But just companies that don't try to companies that aren't tricking you, but they really have stuff on sale. They get you with they try to sell you things that you don't even need sometimes.
Yeah, like most of the people on the Black Friday season, if they see something like really cheap, although they don't really need it, but they kind of persuade themselves. I might need it one day.
Yeah.
Someday I would need it.
That's what they get. Like when do I need a box of 이태리 타월? 언제 이만큼 근데 언제 쓰겠지라고 생각하고 쓰게 돼요.
But like they never use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Who uses 이태리 타월? 이태리 타월 목욕탕에서 말고 언제 써요? 어디서 써요? 그렇죠?
진짜 오랜만에 듣네요.
네, 이태리 타월. 네, Steve, thank you so much. That will do it for today's quote unquote. Sadly, this will be your last quote unquote.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. For the new season, listeners, you will be finding Steve actually on another program.
Yeah.
Traitor. No, but Steve, he'll still be our Friday writer.
Yeah.
But because he's going to be so busy using his voice for other shows, he
but
can't
I'll
come
be
on
get
our
back
show.
really soon, just for 잠시. 네.
That's what you think. That's what you think, right?
Okay.
Steve, thank you so much for all your hard work this season, though.
Thank you,
right?
Minsu.
We will see you next week, just not on the mic.
Okay.
Okay. Steve, thank you so much. You have yourself a good weekend. And listeners, that will do it for the show today. And for the season, Inside of Busan, of course, we'll be back next season, which is next week, right?
Oh, yeah.
다음 주잖아요.
그쵸.
네, 그래서 여러분, expect some new voices, some new segments, exciting times, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay warm. Our last track, this is by Cannibal, 그땐 그랬지. Inside of Busan was written by Im Soo-jin and
Steve, bye-bye.
It was hosted and produced by Min Soo-shin. Folks, have a good one.
참 느렸었지 늘 지루했지 시간아 흘러 그땐 그랬지 시린 겨울 맘 졸이던 합격자 발표 날에 부둥 켜안고서 이제는 고생 끝 행복이라 내 세상이 왔다 그땐 그랬지 참 세상